friends, welcome back. In this video lecture, I will be talking about effective communication, one of the very important elements which the teachers who are engaged in the teaching learning process need to be aware of. Through effective communication only you can convey the subject content. Even otherwise, when we are conveying any general information, communication matters a lot. So, if you want to make it effective, we need to take into account many factors. We will be discussing on such factors which you can consider, which would help you to make your communication effective. So, in this session, in the beginning I would be talking some of the strategies or factors which you can make use of, which would make your communication effective in general, and then we will shift to classroom communication, because this is the concern of the teachers, how we will make our communication effective in the classrooms, and that too especially if you are using any technologies or ICTs. So, to start with, I would say, and we have quoted in some of our previous videos, that communication falls into two categories: either it can be effective or on the other side it can be ineffective. With respect to classroom communication, if the teacher is able to convey the content, the subject matter which she was thinking of, and if the students can make some meaning out of it, or when the students understand the concept, then we say the communication is effective. This is not only there in the case of classroom communication, but it is there in general in all the communications that we see, or the communication which people normally engage. Say for example, a communication which is done through the chatting services which are available in the WhatsApp or Facebook. So, it happens there. I mean, the communication can be effective, and if it is not effective, then of course it is falling into the other category which is ineffective, and that is why we keep on sometimes in WhatsApp or Facebook, the messages keep on coming up, because the receiver might have not understood what the sender was thinking of. This is also pretty, common in the chatting messages or chat messages. But this should not be the case in the classroom communication, because we have a complete academic year, but we have syllabus also that needs to be completed in a couple of months or in a complete academic year. So, the communication has to be effective. The teachers should always try to communicate in an effective manner. So, friends, two types of communication: the effective and not effective or ineffective communication. Now, see, when we are talking about ineffective communication, there are many factors why it is making ineffective, why the students are not understanding the subject matter or any message which is conveyed by the teacher or any other authorities. And we have said that there are factors which hamper the communication, and we have mentioned about noise. They are nothing but the factors which hamper our communication, and it is disturbing the communication, which results in not reaching the message from the sender to the receiver. So, if you are talking about the various factors or the strategies which you can make use of for eliminating the barriers, I would say maybe the first one, as you should minimize the noise as far as possible. Very simple example we can quote in the case of classroom communication. Say for example, if the classroom is near the market, there can have disturbances from the market. The sounds which are there in the market can come inside the classroom. So, you need to take care of such outside disturbances or noises or sounds which are coming from such places. There are various other factors. If there is a classroom which is very nearby, and if the students are talking in that classroom, then in the next classroom the teacher will not be able to communicate properly. So, reduce as much as possible, one of the ways. The second one is be a good listener, very important. When you are communicating, say for example in the case of teacher and students, when the teacher communicates, the students need to be good listeners, so that whatever the teacher is saying in the classroom can be understood by the student. And the same with the teacher also. When the students ask something, when the students say something, the teacher needs to be a very good listener. So, that is the second point. Third, I would say you need to properly sequence your message, especially in the case of classroom communication. The content needs to be sequentially organized, and this has to be presented, which would bring some continuity in your presentation, so that students will be able to understand what you are communicating. Now, the fourth point, you need to give constructive feedback also. Constructive feedback. When the students say, ask some doubts, give your constructive feedback. We should not demotivate students. Listen to the students, say what they are saying, then give your feedback on such doubts and questions. Now, the fifth one, I would say, you need to select appropriate communication channels, very important. And today, communication through technology medias or medias, simply, they are very common. And the use of technologies in the teaching learning process is also, it is also growing like anything. So, if you are getting a chance to use such technological devices, make use of such technological devices. The sixth, you need to make use of various communication skills. We have discussed about the verbal, non-verbal communication. So, make use of non-verbal communications also when you are engaged in the teaching learning process. The next and very important is you should speak with clarity and conviction. As a teacher or as a center of message, you should not, be unclear about what you are going to talk. You should be very confident. You should have understanding about what you are going to talk. So, that makes your communication more effective, so that the barriers which are appearing in the communication will be eliminated, will be reduced, and this ultimately makes your communication effective. Now, I would like to in brief discuss about again some of the strategies which you can make use when you are engaged in a communication process. It is not that way very much limited to classroom communication in general. There should be clarity of message. You should definitely have understanding about what you are going to communicate. Number one. Number two, you should, if the listeners, if the receiver is not understanding your message, or if you want to reinforce some of the concepts, you feel that this is some ideas which I should definitely make my learners understand, then you should give focus on such ideas. So, you reinforce your ideas. Third, make use of communication channels. Very common nowadays, as I was pointing out in the beginning, technologies, WhatsApp messaging, very common. If you want to communicate, it is sent through the WhatsApp. Various files like Word or PDF files or images are attached with our messages. So, we use technology channels, we use such mediums to communicate. So, this is also common, or this is also applicable in normal communication. You can also motivate your listener so that they will be able to, or they will be showing interest to listen what you are talking. Then take care of the environment. See, when we are making a phone call to any of our friends, if they are in the market or if they are some in meeting, the communication will be disturbed, of course. So, think of the environment and take care of environment when you are communicating. You also try to take the feedback of the communication. So, this is how, if you are following some of these strategies, definitely the communication is going to be very effective. So, friends, I have just mentioned about some of the strategies. Of course, many of these will also appear in the classroom communication. So, now we will be talking about classroom communication, because we are talking about the technology used in the teaching learning process. So, the technology use is also, now it is growing like anything. Many technological devices are used for communicating the subject matter and for transmitting the general information to the students. WhatsApp, Facebook, audio programs, video programs, even graphics, cartoons, virtual realities, gamification mode of teaching learning, blended teaching learning practices. There are many technologies which we use. But the core point is, we are using such technologies just for communicating our ideas. We may say, if it is in the case of classroom communication, the subject matter is conveyed using such communication channels or through such media. So friends, we are now talking about specifically about the classroom communication and how you can make your classroom communication more effective. We are talking this because communication is very important, as I said in the beginning. Why it is important? I would say a couple of points, like before we undertake any teaching learning session, whether it is through the normal teaching learning face-to-face teaching method or using any technologies, there are some aims and objectives, or we say some goals. So, every communication has some goals and objectives. So, to achieve such goals and objectives or aims of our communication, communication is very important. So, through communication only we are achieving such goals. The second point I would like to bring out is the learning is made easier. See, there can have some topics which the students may not understand through the face-to-face lecturing method. So, then in that case, why don't we make use of some video programs? Say for example, a practical in physics or chemistry. Rather than saying and you take so and so materials, mix so and so materials, this doesn't work, this doesn't make your communication effective. So, in place of that, you make some video program and give that video programs to your students. Learning will be more easier. The third point, strengthen association between teacher and students. It's always an interactive process, the teaching learning activity, teaching learning communication. So, you must develop an association between your student, for which communication is very important. So, this makes your association more stronger, students and teacher association more stronger, learning more meaningful, communication more effective. The fourth point is positive learning environment. See teacher coming to the classroom, delivering a lecture, going back. There also communication happens, but the environment will not be too much favorable so that an effective communication is taking place and students are learning. No. So, bring a kind of a positive environment, develop a kind of a positive environment so that you will be able to achieve your objectives and goals. Communication, as I said, will be more effective and learning will be more meaningful. So, friends, this is why the communication we say or we consider as very important. So, now we will discuss about some of the strategies which you can use. And these strategies are used, again I would focus, this is used to make your communication effective. And see some of the strategies, how you can make it. Make the content meaningful to the student, very important. The content is something, the students are belonging to a particular age group, sometimes this will be heavy for the students. So, you quote examples, bring in some real life situations, make your presentation more meaningful so that students will be able to correlate what the teacher is saying. And that is how meaningful learning occurs. So, one of the ways, one of the strategies, make the content meaningful to the students by bringing in examples, simple examples, very suitable examples, anything you can do. Next, present the content in an interesting manner. Many times it happens, teacher will keep on talking, will be presenting the subject matter, students will be passive listeners, students will not understand anything. The content is not presented in an interesting manner. So, make use of some strategies, like you can quote some examples, stories, bring in some technologies, graphics, pictures, some case studies, scenarios, all those you can bring in when you are presenting a content. So, content should be made interesting to the learner. Organize content according to the age level of the student. See, there are some topics which we teach in the lower classes, higher classes. The same topic is taught in the higher classes also. But the way the content is taught in the primary class will be different from the way it is taught in the higher classes. Why? Because in higher classes the students are grown up students. So, that difference will be there. So, think of that difference, their age level, experiences, their previous knowledge, all those need to be considered when we are making any presentation, when we are engaged in the communication process. Next, properly blend the verbal and non-verbal communication. There are situations where teachers stand in the middle of the classroom, maybe 40-45 minutes duration. The whole content is presented simply standing at the middle or at some other points in the classroom. Very static that way. Whenever we are making any verbal communication, when we are talking, lecturing, you always supplement non-verbal communication also, and that's why our faces, facial expression matters, hand movements, our gestures, body movements. You can bring all those movements when you are talking. This also conveys meaning to the student. So, you should remember that when you are engaging in the verbal communication, it should always accompany the non-verbal communication styles also, very important. Then you should have eye contact with the student. See, some students sometimes feel the teacher is not listening to me, the teacher is talking to couple of or only few students. This is because you are not making an eye contact with the students. So, when you are engaging in the communication process, look at all the students. They should feel that the teacher is talking to them. This is very important when you are engaging in the teaching learning activities or communication process. The next is speak at a moderate pace. The classroom is having a heterogeneous group of students. Each student is different from the other. There are students who can easily understand what teacher is talking about, but on the contrary, there are students who do not understand what the teacher is talking. The cognitive abilities are different. Each of the students are different from one another. So, be at a moderate pace, moderate speed, so that each and every student sitting in your classrooms understands what you are talking, what you are teaching them. Very important. You should not talk at high speed, because this will not be understood by students who are difficult to understand when we speak with a higher speed. So, be at a moderate speed whenever we are engaging in a communication process. Next, develop a rapport with the students. Very important, develop a rapport, but I would also say it should not cross the limit. Maintain a distance with your students, but they should feel that this is my teacher. I can easily communicate with my teacher. I can discuss anything with my teacher. So, bring in that kind of a rapport where students should not feel uncomfortable with your presence or when you are engaging in the teaching learning process or in the communication process. The next is you should use a proper body language. As I said, there are teachers who are standing in the middle for a complete 40-45 minutes duration or at any corner of the classroom. Some teachers sit and engage in the communication process. So even if you are standing or sitting or whenever you are engaged in the teaching learning process, at times you also need to go to the students if they are engaged in some group activities. So when there is a body movement, when you are standing or sitting or walking, should have a proper body language. Very important. Next is about the sense of humor. It should not look like you are very serious or you are very, what we say, flexible. So bring in some kind of a humor when you are making your presentation, when you are communicating in the classroom. It should not be like artificially made. You can correlate with some incidents, some examples. All those can be brought in when you are making communication. The next is encourage listening and feedback. Very important, friends. It should not be like a presentation of a content from the teacher's side. You present the subject matter, give some time to your students, take the students' feedback, then you continue your presentation. Give group activities to students, go to the students, take their feedback, see whether they are following what you are teaching. So listening and feedback is very important in the classroom communication, which would make it, of course, an effective communication. Next is avoid communicating in extreme emotional states. Say for example, I have some issues at my home and I am going to teach my students. So already I am disturbed. Or when you are coming to your educational institution, you have seen some people quarreling, fighting. So such bad incidences also create some kind of a disturbance in our mind. So we are not in a comfortable position. So it is always better to take rest, balance your emotional state, then you engage in the teaching learning activities. You engage in communication. Otherwise the communication is not going to effective, because sometimes this will create disturbances. As I was saying, it's also kind of a noise, maybe psychologically related one. So be at a proper good emotional state, then you engage in the communication process. Very important next one, make your message very lucid and simple. We have already discussed one of the strategies which is very similar. Make it very simple, your presentation, because the students are very heterogeneous, different abilities, different understandings, different previous experiences. So you should think of all these and make your presentation very simple, so that each and every student sitting in the class will be able to follow you, understand you. The other very important factor or strategy is you should move around in your classroom. Don't be at a position in the front always. You can move around when you are making presentations or when you are communicating. So this gives a feel that the teacher is coming to me, the teacher is listening me, and this is how communication will be made effective. The next point is be a listener. When we were talking about the listening and feedback, we have made a mentioning of the listening of the teachers. So there are instances where the students also speak in the classroom. They also ask doubts, queries, it can be anything. So when they are asking such doubts or queries, or when they replies to your question, you should patiently listen to the student. Very important. Accordingly, you can give your replies. So this is also very important, which would help you to make your communication very important. effective. Now, the very important strategy is make use of appropriate media. There are various media, various technologies, ICTs. Say for example, video is one. As I was mentioning, if you are not comfortable in making any presentation through verbal speeches or lecturing method, prepare a video program of that. So, you should make use of various technologies. As I was saying, video programs you can use, audio programs you can use, the social media networks you can use, live sessions if you can use. If you have a large number of students, simply chatting services, chat services which are available in the WhatsApp, Facebook, that you can use. So, there are various technologies. So, think of such technologies. We will be also giving more details about such technologies. We will be discussing such technologies in the coming sessions. Here I am making just a mentioning of few such technologies. So, you should use such technologies which would help to make your communication effective, the teaching learning process effective. So, friends, these are some of the strategies which you can make use of to make your communication very effective. So, we are going to stop this lecture. In this lecture, we have talked about the various strategies which you can follow, which would help you to make your classroom communication effective. I hope you have understood some of the points which you can follow, which would help you in making your communication effective. Thank you.